Okay, here it is, Saturday, November 9th. I'm down in Bellevue. I'm out back this time. Start with looking at, this is sort of a loading dock. Well, it was a loading dock. Is a loading dock. And what you can see here is the concrete that's been roughed up in preparation of pouring new concrete on top of this. We've added steel beam here so that we've got an edge for the concrete, and another edge is going to be there. That's not, there's no steel there. That's the edge of the concrete that was poured on Tuesday. Gives you an idea of the depth of the concrete. It's actually not as deep in here on the edges. There was a hole towards the middle of the room, so that's where the deepest concrete is. Also, this door was in bad shape, and also wouldn't work because it went down to the ground, and when we're adding 2.5 inches of concrete, cutting 2.5 inches off the door wouldn't work. So the door has been yanked out, and also, let's see, it's not very light in here. We actually can see. You can see the door frame's been removed, and it wasn't insulated, which it should have been. We're going to take this beam out, and there's actually another header that's already been in. I believe, it appears that the door at one time was a bigger door and was removed. So we're going to take this header out, knock some of this block out, so we can put a full-size door back in. And it will be insulated, the frame correctly, so that we've got a better seal around this door. Here's the old door right here. That's the old door. We're not gonna, I don't think we're gonna reuse that. I think we're getting a new door. I know we're getting a new door frame. And this will get done today. So this will get done, and this is a pile of just basically concrete dust. This is like the concrete that they ground off of the existing in order to make the new concrete pour stick to the new concrete, or stick to the old concrete. Okay, so here we are in the women's only area. Again, this is the concrete. Today's Saturday. This was poured Tuesday, and it doesn't appear that there's any cracks. I mean, the saw cutting allows the concrete to shift a little bit and release some stress. There's the new frame. Maybe we are using the old door. But the saw cuts allow the concrete to expand and contract a little bit. Concrete will always break at some point. The cuts help reduce that, and I don't see any cracks in here, so we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Even the cracks, it's not a huge deal. Concrete just is like that. This also, I believe, gets poured today. This is going to be the ramp down. The high spot will be over here, and then it will ramp down to the opening, so that it's just a gradual ramp up. Okay, now we go out on the main floor, and we have paint. The Battleship Gray has been painted down to the top of the drywall. That line is going to be the line where color will always, drywall will be painted in bright, vibrant colors. Let's take a gander. We go in the women's locker room where tile is being laid. Might be kind of noisy in there, so you might not be able to hear me. They're laying 2-inch tile on the floor in the wet areas. And it's going to get a little bit dark for a second. There we go, the start of hallways being laid. Let's go around this way and see what we can see. And there's waterproofing on the wall. what looks kind of yellowish green is waterproofing. Durarock, even though it's concrete board, is water resistant. It's not waterproof. So there's a membrane that's rolled on top of there to make it waterproof behind the tile. And the two bands are actually grout on top of the waterproofing to bring the joints a little more flush. So there's the start of the tile. Let's get out of here. This is the mechanical room. Turn this down. There we go, a little bit better. You can see some of the plumbing lines that have been run. That feeds the sinks in the men's. That feeds the sink in the women's. There's going to be a mop sink in here. This is where the on-demand water heaters will be located. And you can see they pressurize the lines with air, and this has over 100 pounds of pressure on it, is what I'm reading, and maintaining it. That's how we test to see if we have any leaks. Ready Plumbing is doing the work, and they've done a great job for us. This is their third job for us. You can see where the breakers have come in, the guts, if you will, for these boxes. Came in yesterday. They weren't expected until Monday, but they showed up yesterday, so these guys got them in. And electricians are going to make sense of these wires, where they go to, what they're assigned to. Certainly a dangerous job. You have to know what you're doing. There's some more. These guys are going to make sense of every one of these wires. And Jimmy Shoup is the lead electrician on this one, and he's just doing a great job for us. You see all the conduits run. Obviously every one of these is a new conduit, so all the wiring in this place will be new. The power will come into these boxes, and from these boxes out, essentially everything's going to be new, which allows for a lot of confidence. Again, here you can see the purpose of the curb. Locker rooms are on the other side of this. Men's locker room is on the other side of this wall. This curb, if a men's locker room would flood, this curb will help prevent water from coming into our mechanical room. There is going to be a floor drain there, in case it does. Again, same thing here, a concrete curb between us and the women's locker room, in case the women's locker room floods. And we'll go check out the men's. Can't really see too much in there. And it is kind of dark, so I'll leave the flashlight on for now. These columns, they're not exactly placed where I would like them, but that's life. You got to play the hand you're dealt. Once again, Durarock. And is this Durarock brand? Perma-Base brand? Nope. Durarock is cement to cement board what Kleenex is to facial tissue. 5/8 inch. Thicker than most people would use, but I only want to build things once. So here you can see the outlet for the shower head, the shower controls. So there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 showers. The handicap will be 5 feet wide. All the other showers will be 4 feet wide. Very, very generous. This will be our locker area in here. Got the ductwork. This will get ceiling grid in this area. One of the few areas in the club where we'll have ceiling grid. Most of it's going to be open. Lights, again, have been hung. I think some of the lights are going to get turned on next week. And one of the ways you can tell how straight a wall is by the shadows of a flashlight. I don't know if it shows up on video, but this is actually, these walls are very straight so far. The paint will allow us to see even better any imperfections once the paint is on and a light is shined down this wall. But the so you can see a little bit of a hump right there where there's a joint when I shine my light. I don't know if that's showing up on the video. I pulled wires to these fixtures here for cardio. I'm going to try to show how a light can show the humps here, or the imperfections. Let's try it on this floor here. Okay. Now there's a pretty good hump there. You can see because there's a shadow behind it. And you can see a couple of other ridges further down in the floor. This is a good way to tell. Cardio cinema room, let's try this wall. Again, these walls are really in pretty darn good shape. VIP area. And since I have a flashlight, I'll show. That is the unit strut where there will be a ceiling fan hanging from it. There is the ceiling fan, Haiku by Big Ass Fan. More door frames. And those are the big changes today, I think. Today's Saturday. Our first equipment actually shows up on Monday. And then we've got flooring coming in a little later in the week. And I'm afraid we have more equipment coming in over the weekend. And my plan is to get this side of the facility done first, get it painted, get the ceiling fans hung, get the lights straight, get the flooring down, and then we'll use this from this column over as a staging area to assemble equipment. We do the equipment assembly ourselves. Okay. And there you can see a few ridges in this concrete. Not too concerning. I mean, this is relatively flat, but I think with this flashlight you can see how it highlights imperfections. Again, they did a pretty darn good job in there. Okay, I think that's it for today. And as I said, we will do the equipment assembly ourselves. While that's tedious, some of the staff has learned because we did that with Central. And when you do one or two pieces, it's hard to notice the difference. But when you do an entire club, I was speaking with the club manager yesterday, Nick Andrew, and he said that not a single bolt or screw has fallen out of the equipment that we assembled, because one of the things that I do is I have our teams use Loctite. Anything we put together, we put some Loctite on it so we can know that it's locked down good. We use the red Loctite, so it's not permanent. And not a single screw has come out of the equipment we assembled. However, the factory stuff, it seems like, I think he said it, about one a month we're averaging, where they just work themselves loose and fall out. So I think it's a great experience for our team to assemble the equipment so they can see what's behind the shroud, if you will, on cardio. And it also gives us equipment that has been holding together better than the factory assembled equipment. A new unit is sitting on the roof above this one. This unit just feeds the women's only area. And this room will get 2 big ass fans, one there and one there, right next to where that light is, right? I'm shining my spotlight on it. So I'm really excited to see how the HVAC system works in this facility. Okay, again, next time I film, I expect this to be done, and this to be done, because this needs to get poured today, because we have equipment showing up at this dock on Monday, 2 days from now. Rock and roll. Oh wait, let's see, one more thing, if you're still with me. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, one more thing here. And that is the boys. There they are. I don't know how well you can see. Get Griffin, Jenny, and Cosmo. So, Saturday morning, and making some good progress.